Howdy guys, welcome to the cave. I'm Mark and you're watching Blue Street Customs. Hey guys, been a couple days. We've gotten a few showers and rain here for the last couple days. Borrowed a welder from a friend, so I've got that now. So I can start pulling these front fenders off. And that shouldn't be too hard. I'll also have to pull the headlights out because they're attached to the bumpers, fenders, all that stuff. And then I can start marking out where I need to cut the rockers. But first, I've already started. I gotta prep up all the rockers. Now, I'm not too worried about the fenders because they'll be like one of the last things going on, so I'm not too worried about that. Plus, they don't really need any work. So in this one here, prepping it up, it's all good in here. This is just where the spot welds were, so I'll have to weld in the same spot. Now I noticed it getting a little thin. Right here. You can probably see a little bit of light coming through there. Also, we get a hole here. It's real thin in here, and a hole here, a little bit here. I'm not sure. I'm going to double check this spot, but that might be a little thin. Other than that, this thing's good. So I'm going to end up building a patch that goes for here. That spot's fine. I'll clean off this tab and this tab. Got those tabs cleaned up and that one over there. All I'm using is the grinder with the 40 grit flapper wheel. And where I'm going to get the metal for this, I'm cutting it out of the front fenders out of that one. So I guess before I make patches, I'll have to pull these fenders off so I got some sheet metal to work with. So give me a little bit and I'll be back. Okay guys. Okay, so first things first, we're going to pull off this. Then we'll have to pull off the headlight. And then we can start taking out the bolts for the fender. So this corner piece, real easy. Just a couple clips. Simple as that. Now everything else is just 10mm bolts. And I've also noticed when I was looking around the other day, that's a little loose. So we got a broken tab right here. Now obviously that's from the somebody hitting the car. That's why the bumper's kind of all screwy. This tab is good down here, but this one back here is also broken. Show you that in a little bit here. What you want? Look how rusty that is. Good thing I took some bolts off of that other car so we can replace a bunch of this. Now I also noticed that this little ball here is supposed to have a plastic clip that it clips into. That's missing, but luckily enough, they're on the other fender. And as you can see here, it's all cracked all through here. I am going to try and fix it, but if I can't fix this and these two tabs, there's one broken here, and the lens. If I can't fix that, the other car that I got the parts from does have them, and they are in good shape. But I want to try and save some money and fix these pieces first. Paint is coming off the light bulbs, so I'm going to replace them so they don't look funny inside the lenses. So I'm going to take these tabs off and make sure I put them with the light. Okay, so other than that, this wiring harness is attached to the fender. There's a clip right here, so I'll have to pop that one free. There are two bolts here, one here, one here. There's one here, one inside here, and two down here. Now, because there is damage here, one of the things I'm watching for is as I pull the bolts out, is this fender trying to spring out of shape? Is it trying to move away from its original holes? That may indicate that maybe some of the frame structure here may be bent. It's also a possibility that it's just the fender that's bent, but that would give an indication on to look further, see if there's further damage. So far, pulling this bolt out hasn't really moved at all, so we'll keep going and see what we find. Now, when you see stuff like this, it's a self-tapping screw. This is a store-bought eyelet. It was crimped on. Always look around to see who did what, because this is not factory. This is not a factory spot to put that. So who was doing what? So if something is wrong and not working properly in the vehicle, start here.
Come on. What you want? What you want? Come on. What you want? Come on.
There we have it. One fender with a hole in it. Now later I will take off all these clips because they're always good to have. Couple metal ones down here. Plastic one there. Now this is also another indication. Factory wouldn't leave stuff like this wide open into the elements underneath the wheel well. So who did what for what reason? This is why my signal light was so short. Passed through on the wrong side. So it's the headlight one. Now if you look, to me it looks like they were having a grounding problem with the headlight or signal light not working properly. This is in the lighting system, and there's probably the problem right there. See how it's all green and corroded? That's from copper. There's the corrosion that's in there. So I will be opening this spot up, clean it up, fix up whatever wires needs to be fixed. This looks like it was up against the metal, so I'm going to double check that spot. This is how cars start on fire. Starts in here and takes off. So I will be fixing that as well, and that will eliminate this, make it all back to proper working. Not to mention I'm going to find all the proper clips here and make sure everything's sitting properly. I'm going to rewrap this stuff. Look at the dirt that's in there. That's just going to cause problems. And here we have relays. Now I'm not sure what they're for, but they could be fan relays, fuel pump relays, heater relays, who knows. I'd have to check the manual to figure out what's what. Now, in my opinion, kind of a bad, dumb place to have it. Under the fender, behind the wheel well, behind the headlight where nobody can get to nothing without taking half of that stuff off. Why not put it up here where the rest of the fuses are? Think, engineers, think. So yeah, I will be addressing all of this. Make sure it's clean. We'll maybe even put some more dielectric grease in some of these sockets to make sure they don't corrode. But that ground wire, that's exactly why they did it, right there. Next thing's next. I'm going to pull off the other fender and headlight. I'm sure you guys don't need to watch that again. And then I'm going to start patching those rockers using sheet metal out of the fenders. So let me get the other fender off and I'll be right back. Okay guys, so the first thing I did was grind down to the metal so that I have nice clean metal to work with when I'm welding. Now it's not perfect, but it doesn't have to be. As long as my edges are clean, I'll probably grind it some more anyways. But I also noticed that this car has been painted at 2, maybe 3 times. At least this fender has anyways. So it's also one more indication that, you know, there's been some body work done or something somewhere. But needless to say, by the time I'm done, they'll be painted again anyway. But as long as you got a good foundation, there's no peeling or bubbling, you can scuff this, paint over it again, and you'll have no problem. So I'm going to change the disc because I just got my 40 grit on here again. I'm going to put on a cutting disc. We'll cut this out and start prepping it up for the rocker. Just like in crafting, never throw away anything that can be used. So I'm going to set up the welder. Gotta tweak it a little bit here and there, but pretty much got the exact shape I need. We'll stitch weld this in. Now I went right on the rib. The more that you can do on a rib of some sorts or some sort of body line, the stronger it's going to be and the less warping you're going to have. Now if you stitch weld, that's going to go all the way around and just keep doing that. Periodically stop. That'll help keep the heat out and keep things from warping. Now the flatter the steel is, the more likely you're going to get warping if you apply too much heat. So I'm going to set up the welder and I'll be right back. Okay guys, well I got that patch welded in right there. And then I ground down any of the little surfaced rust. Gave it a quick prime. Now I'm going to drill a couple holes in these tabs so I can weld them in. Clean up these ones a bit here, all the way along. And then I'm going to clean up my edge because I trimmed it down. So I'm going to clean up this edge here. And you can see back here. So now that I got that one trimmed, now I can go along and take out the inner liner and start cutting off, marking and cutting off the rocker. Once that's cut off, then I can prep it and check for any other holes and patch them if needed to be. And then I can start fitting that piece on. So I got the welder out. And I've been kind of working on making a cart for it. It's not done yet, but it's getting there. Also got myself a new welding helmet. So I'm going to get the camera set up and we'll get this inner liner out and start marking out for this this rocker. Okay guys, sorry about the wind, but I'm using a phone so I can't put a windsock on or you just wouldn't see anything. Anyways, got a couple clips out. This one's not as bad as the front one was. So we're going to get this out of here. Now, we'll pull this off. Just a rubber seal for the door. And this is why it rusts. So now, I'm going to set it up so that you can see what I see along the bottom. Okay, so I've decided to make this a little easier on myself. So as you can see, we got rust in here, and I've already taken some measurements, which is why the other one is cut the way it is. So what I'm going to do, most of this is already rotten off. Now I am going to have to make some patches in here, not a big deal. And it's pretty much rotten all the way off on this side. So the only thing I'm going to have to do is come along here. I'll fit the other one onto it and I will mark exactly where it needs to be cut. I will cut it off. The only spot welds really that I'm going to have to cut or drill out are these ones here. There's probably going to be like 2, 4, 6 of them roughly that I'm going to have to cut out right along here. And we'll get it all the way out. There might be some at the very front that I'll have to cut off and drill out. So once I get that figured out, I will come back and I'll show you what I've got. Hey guys, I'm back. Well, I didn't want to bore you with cutting and patching the inner stuff, but I've got the outer all fit up. I'm going to trim up here just a little bit. This here lines up good. It's all nice and tight. Nothing is welded down yet. All I've got is a couple vice grips and it's sitting that nice already. So I'm going to do up in here. Get this one. I'm going to start spot welding everything down. Everything looks nice underneath. So I'll just start welding all these in. All the way across. And then I'll start stitch welding up top. Get this one welded up. Now, as you can see, that's all that's left of the outer rocker on this side. just pieces. That's it. So once I get this welded up, I will come back and show you how it looks. Okay, we have it all welded in, all the way across. I gave it a quick coat of primer for now. And it's all welded underneath. No more holes. So we're looking good. And yes, I did take the doors off to give myself a lot more room, and so I didn't burn the door panels or anything like that. So it's now getting dark out here, or starting to. Won't be long before it is dark. So I'm going to let this primer dry up a little bit more, maybe give it another coat. Tomorrow I'm going to start doing the body work on this one, and then be good to go. But for tonight, I'm going to put the doors back on so that if it does happen to rain tonight, I won't have any problems. So we'll see you tomorrow. Alright guys, it's been a few days here. It's been raining, it's been cool. Can't do the body filler in the rain, and can't do it when it's too cool out. So I've thrown the fender on, put the doors back on, and I was looking at the footage, and I think I'm going to call it a video here for now. So the body filler will be in the next video, or I'll do the other side in the next video, then I'll do the filler work. We'll see how it goes. So like I said, doors are on, fender's on. Hey duckies, you guys are quite noisy. Yeah. Milo, Frankie. Anyways, so rockers on, doors are on. Make sure you guys like, share, and subscribe. Hit that bell notification so you can get notified when I post videos. So until next time, later.